3,000 babies a day murdered in our nation. 3,000 a day. That's a 9/11 every day.
Babies are murdered here. You should not murder babies.
I think the real reason they're out there is the deep, deep-rooted hatred of women.
Whatever you're afraid of, it's not an excuse for you to kill your own baby.
They are attacking people on the very worst day of their lives.
For the first time ever, the number of people who consider themselves pro-choice in America outnumbers those who are pro-life. 50% of Americans now say they respect a woman's right to choose, but half of the population still do not. I'll be travelling to Arizona to spend time with Jeff Durbin and his Red Door ministry. They're a controversial group who picket Planned Parenthood clinics and broadcast a weekly show with a very strongly worded message.
Our movement in this area is to end abortion immediately, calling it murder and focusing on legislation that would criminalize the performing of an abortion in any state. Planned Parenthood will dismember, decapitate, and disembowel your own child. You're not going to leave Planned Parenthood no longer a mom or a dad. You're going to leave the mother and father of a dead child. My name is Jeff. I'm a pastor at Apologia Church. Please turn away from this place of death.
Could you tell me when and why you founded Red Door Ministry?
Goodness, I think it's been about 3 years since we started the Red Door Ministry. So we had said at the time, if we can do this and save even one baby, if we can bring the gospel consistently to the abortion mills, then it's worth our whole lives. And as of today that we know of, over 50 babies have been saved through this ministry.
Do you see absolutely no difference between a mother killing her teenage son and a mother getting an abortion?
No difference. I think that anybody that severs the head and arms and legs off of a baby girl should receive the death penalty, yes.
Do you not think that people just find it quite distasteful to kind of shower women when they're going in?
Yeah, I think that people might have the wrong perspective when we're out there and not understand our motivations.
There is no wrong. There is no right. It was a rape.
For example, if we were back during Hitler's regime and we stood outside of Auschwitz to plead for the lives of the Jews inside, it might make a lot of people uncomfortable.
Do you consider abortion to be similar to the Holocaust?
Yes, we absolutely do consider abortion to be the modern day Holocaust, although I believe that it is a bit of an insult to Hitler to compare what he did in Nazi Germany to what we have before us. If you take a body count of Hitler's Germany to what we've had since Roe v. Wade, we have beat him by the metric ton. Arizona is considered a friendly pro-life state. It's definitely not ultimately just in that we're still murdering babies in Arizona. I think in an area like this, just where we're at in Tempe with ASU campus right there, there's definitely a lot more hostility this way. Like, you'll see people driving by, giving us the middle finger, throwing stuff at us, stopping and screaming at us.
And it's not only Jeff and his followers who regularly picket Planned Parenthood. Pro-choice supporters also line the pavement, and the two camps often clash.
And the supporters out here, the Planned Parenthood supporters on this side, generally don't want to engage in any kind of conversation, not a rational, peaceable conversation.
I don't care what you believe. I will stand in your face day in and day out because murder should be illegal.
Well, murder is illegal.
No, not apparently
But
today.
this is not murder.
This is murder.
This is not murder.
This is
no, it's misleading, is what it
How
is.
is murder misleading? It is what's happening. There was a life in the mother, then she walks in, and there's no life when she walks out.
If we do declare that abortion is not a service that should be provided anywhere to anyone at any time, for any reason, we take the rights of each very little individual and place them above being able to help an entire people, which would be women in general. If I am raped, or if my child is going to be stillborn, if there's a medical necessity for an abortion.
Rape is not the norm here, number one. And even if it were, it's still no excuse.
Is abortion ever acceptable?
Is abortion ever acceptable? I would say no. So let's work through the issues quickly. First, rape. I ask the question, what's wrong with rape? Rape is the violation of another person's body. You don't have any right to violate their person. I would say, well, that's what's taking place in abortion. Do we give capital punishment to children because of the crimes of the father? The next thing is incest. I know people personally who were the products of incestuous relationships, and I don't think we should kill them. And the final thing is the life of the mother. Because of technology and where we're at today, the instances where the life of the mother is truly in danger and you have to actually execute the child to save the life of the mother, the number of instances is so infinitesimally small that to use it as an argument across the board to slaughter children is intellectually inept.
They do not care for you, ma'am. They want to murder your child. We're here to help you. Please turn to Christ and live.
Could you tell us about what your life was like before you found Christ?
I remember as a teenager that my dad had pro-choice bumper stickers on his car.
What about the addiction?
There were areas of my life that I had not turned over to Christ in. I ended up going into drug and alcohol addiction. One night almost OD'd. I knew that I was dying, and I told God, I said, I know that what I'm doing is sin. And I said, please just don't take my life, don't kill me yet. I saw Christ for who he is, my need for him, for forgiveness, and I turned to him and trusted in him, and my life changed. Absolute dependence upon you, God, please forgive. We're right by ASU, which is a huge secular university. They're pumping out atheists and agnostics like a factory. We know they're listening, we know they can hear us, and we communicate with them even with the door shut because we were told that our voices make it into the lobby. Turn from this place of evil and death.
One of the tactics used by the ministry is to bring young children to the picket line.
These are our 7 children. We have Mackenzie, Titus, Casey, Riken, Brinley, Emery, and Archer.
We're standing for the babies that can't speak for themselves.
Because it's not right to kill your baby. Babies are murdered here. You should not murder babies. Thou shalt not murder. Exodus 20:13.
How does it relate to what's happening today? What does your sign have to do with what we're doing right now?
It's saying not to murder.
Despite realizing his views are controversial, father of 4 Jeff is very honest about indoctrinating his children.
We teach our children very, very young to do justice. My daughter, Imogen, is 15. She, I think, is a perfect age to know what's going on. Now, what's interesting here, someone might say something, well, you're indoctrinating your children. I would say, right, and so are you. Everybody goes about the business of indoctrination. It means teaching. Do we hate these women? No.
All parents are teaching their children a worldview. That's our job as parents, is to teach our worldview.
Sometimes I do wish that I could have lived a different life where things are just easier. Like most kids, they go to public school and that's normal for them. But as for me, I'm homeschooled. I grew up this way. This is what I believe. It's what's right to me.
It's rough sometimes, how people react to, you telling them we go and protest abortion, we defend babies' lives. They don't always take it so well.
I mean, I definitely do feel like an outsider sometimes in the world, but you just learn to deal with it.
Saying, come be like us.
Do you care that you are hurting the women's feelings when they're going in and obviously a very vulnerable stage in their life?
When we call out to these moms and we say, please don't murder your child, we're not doing it in any way to be abusive to them. We're doing it to remind them, you're a mom. This is your baby. And we're reminding them what is truly happening. You say it's health care, but today they're dismembering disemboweling, decapitating little boys and girls. How is that health care?
Today they're also treating STDs and giving birth control and providing sexual education in schools all over the country. They're doing more than just abortion.
Okay, yeah, and Auschwitz also served a good chicken soup, and they gave people shelter and clothing. So do we ignore what Auschwitz did to the Jews?
We're not here to argue that we're going to change minds or that we're hoping to change minds. We don't even hope to change theirs. They are attacking people on the very worst day of their lives.
Due to the number of anti-abortion protesters, there are now established teams of escorts who accompany women to clinics around the country. Ashley Gray founded a clinic escort team in 2014. What kind of things have you seen while you've been escorting women?
I've seen them try to hand women chocolate because if they ingest food, they can't go under anesthesia. So it either ruins the appointment and they have to come back, or even worse, they forget they ate the chocolate, they go under anesthesia, and they could die. It could be fatal.
And what do you think about the Red Door ministry in Arizona?
So these guys in Arizona, they're a lot younger than most protesters I've seen. They look cool, they have, hipster beards. I think that they're trying to change the stigma around what is a pro-life protester. So most people think of old, white, people waving Bibles. I think they could give us more problems than the older generation, especially with social media and technology advances.
It's true. Jeff's ministry broadcasts across social media in a persuasive and stylistic way, making it very hard to realise just how biased and one-sided their views can be.
All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Apologia TV. That's Joy the girl on the TV show. This is a new set we have for a new show we're going to do that's just like a lot of fun stuff. We reach people all over the world from all kinds of different perspectives. We put out content recently teaching Christians how to go out to abortion mills and to minister to the women.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
Usually on Wednesdays and Saturday, those are the surgical abortion days. Many of you guys know about our ministry, the Red Door Ministry. We might look different than a lot of people that are into the short hair and nice, tidy, cleaned up look and suit and tie stuff, but that's not necessarily biblical. Doctrinally speaking, we're pretty old school, ancient. We even have beards.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
I don't.
Except for Joy, she has a spirit beard.
She's been trying.
So we're at the abortion mill again this morning. So we know what Planned Parenthood is in business to do. We know that they kill about 1,000 children a day in our nation. This is ASU campus. ASU is one of the big party schools in the United States, and during the summer particularly, women get pregnant and they come in and they kill their children.
What do you think is the real reason they're out there?
I think the real reason they're out there is misogyny. I think it's a deep-rooted hatred of women and wanting to control women.
You are a customer. They deal in death. The situation we're in now, our law allows for women to kill their children. I would say my hope is that we get to a place where the state will actually say that if a mother kills their child, it is a murder charge.
Is abortion murder?
Is abortion murder? No, absolutely not. It's healthcare, it's providing a service, a very, very needed service. Before abortion was illegal, women were dying all the time from illegal abortions. And when they made abortion legal in 1973, women stopped dying overnight. It was just like that. No more deaths due to botched, back alley, illegal abortions. Well, I think they should leave people alone. I don't drink, but I don't stand outside of bars and scream at people who do. It's a private, personal medical decision. It's none of anyone else's business.
Ultimately, I want to please God and not men. And I care more about how God views the situation, and I care more about ultimately God's truth than I do about someone's feelings ultimately being hurt.